All right, artists, today you are going to be drawing a dog inspired by George Rodrigues' Blue Dog. At the drive-thru today, you're going to need to have a pencil, a piece of white paper, and you'll have to grab the How to Draw packet. Now, in the packet, I have a bunch of different examples of how to draw a dog. The first part is a step-by-step how to draw a dog that looks to me like a lab. However, in the back of the packet, there are a whole bunch of different dog breeds. If you would like, you could be a problem solver and see if you can use these directions in the front, some inspiration in the back to come up with your own drawing of a dog. I'm gonna stick with the steps today. So I have my paper turned portrait style. That means it's tall like a building, not landscape style, portrait style. And I'm gonna start with step one. Step one is an arched line at the top of my paper. I want my dog to fill up this whole space. So I'm gonna draw nice and big, but making sure that I can fit everything in. So with my pencil nice and light until I get it right, an arched line. If I draw heavy and dark and I make a mistake, I'm not going to be able to erase. So nice and light until I get it right, and then I can use a Sharpie to outline. Next step is to draw the ears. I noticed that the line kind of goes up like a check mark and over to a horizontal line. So up like a diagonal line, across to horizontal, and down to make the ears. Same thing on the other side. Now, artists, dogs are kind of like humans. They are symmetrical, and drawing things that are symmetrical is often quite a bit of a challenge because what happens on one side has to happen on the other. If your dog is not perfectly symmetrical, like mine is looking like this ear is a little bit different than that ear, that's okay. Dogs, just like people, are all a little bit different. Next is to draw the face and the muzzle. So the face and the muzzle. Flip it over. That muzzle looks kind of like a W. Step 5, I'm going to add a nose and a tongue. The nose looks like a triangle. If you wanted to draw a round nose, of course you could. If you want to have the tongue hanging out, of course you could. If you would prefer to have the tongue sticking in, though, in the dog's mouth, that's a choice as well. All right, I'm slowly and carefully following the steps from my how to draw sheet. All right, I'm done. I've drawn all of the different pieces and parts of the dog. If I look at the drawing, the finished step 11, it looks pretty similar to mine. There might be some slight differences, but they're pretty much the same. Now, before I do anything else, I need to make sure that my name and class code is on the back. Mrs. C. And my class code. Flip it over, and I am ready to Sharpie. I am going to use a Sharpie to outline my pencil marks. You could see probably as I was drawing that if I made a mistake, I maybe erased, or sometimes I even embraced it. My dog is going to look a little bit different than the sheet. That's okay. You might need a messy mat to go underneath your drawing so that we don't get a bunch of Sharpie on the table. That will just protect my tables so that they stay nice and clean. And slow like a turtle, I am going to trace over all of my pencil lines. My Sharpie work is done. I need to come back and for good craftsmanship, make sure that I erase any of those pencil lines that I missed. Sometimes that happens when you're working with a Sharpie and tracing lines that you miss the line a little bit. That's okay, but for good craftsmanship, we want to make sure that those lines are gone. So I'm coming back to make sure that my lines are erased. My name is on the back, and my dog is going to go up to the blue chair today to be collected.